So I wanted to do a video about my journey as an Amazon seller. So I first started selling in 2016 primarily on Amazon. And since then, it has morphed into many different things, and I have now become much more than just a person who sells products on Amazon. Amazon is great, it's a marketplace, but it's not the only marketplace. I have now got to a place where I'm selling on multiple different platforms, including Shopify, eBay, and Amazon, in multiple different countries around the world, and not just an Amazon seller. But I wanted to tell you a bit about my journey as an Amazon seller because it might resonate with you. So I first got started in 2016, and I first came across Amazon through a company I used to do work for. So I used to be a copywriter, if you ever watched any of my journey on anything about my background. And one of my main clients was actually an online coaching company that taught people how to sell products on Amazon, how to find them, how to launch them, everything, how to scale them into different markets. So I was doing a lot of their email marketing. And when I first started with them, I actually had no idea what they did as a company. I didn't even know what Amazon, I didn't even know what they were teaching, basically. So I was actually pretty confused, even though I was writing these emails, selling a service or selling a product to somebody I had no idea about. So what I did was I actually followed the training inside their course and found my first product and started selling on Amazon. And to this date, actually still selling, which is really cool, which is in 2017 maybe. So it's been selling now for nearly 8 years, which is wild, which just shows you the bread and the butter that's in making a product, doing your research and bringing in something that will sell more than just like a fad. Like it's actually something that will sell year in, year out, every single time of year. So it was a home and kitchen item. I don't really want to disclose what product it is because I think that would just be, I don't know. I don't really want to share it. Actually, I could share it. It was a microwave wall bracket. There you go. Microwave wall bracket. I'm not scared of saying it. And it sells this day, sales every single day in the UK and in the USA, which is fantastic. And since that day, I launched that product and saw success in that. I then started finding more products to sell underneath my brand name, which didn't really stand for anything. It was a brand name. The brand name at that time I didn't really care about. I just wanted to have a business name that I could sell any old product that would make money under. And that worked. It worked for many years. And I brought in many different products in home and kitchen, in the sports niche, in the outdoor niche, and launched them. Some of them were great success. Some of them obviously flopped because of my own mistakes, but I've learned from those mistakes. Since then, though, I feel my journey has morphed into much more than just an Amazon seller, because I know a lot of people watching this video that want to get started and they want to just learn how to sell products on Amazon. Because, I mean, why wouldn't you? Because you have these global marketplaces where people always go to buy products. So if you put your product on Amazon, there's obviously going to be a high chance that someone buys it. But Amazon isn't the only marketplace. And this really did click for me in the last 2 years, maybe past year and a half actually, when we started working, me and Peter, my business partner, started working on some different projects, still in e-commerce, but focusing much more of our time and attention on building a real brand. So instead of just buying any old product to sell on Amazon because it would make a quick bit of money, we would actually focus on building a brand and then having products specific to that brand. Because in the long term of things, this does a few things. You build brand equity with potential customers and all the customers that buy products off you. And if you have multiple products, then that just even further boosts this equity. And also, if you ever want to sell and exit the company, you can, because you have a very, very profitable and valuable sellable asset, because it's a brand. Whereas if you were just selling random products under a brand name, I don't think that would be as valuable. So that's where mine and Peter's attention has been for the last couple of years. And we've been teaching people how to do the same thing. Instead of just focusing just solely on Amazon, we also want to introduce them to other marketplaces, but more specifically, focus on how to build a solid long-term brand, because that's where the success is. That's where the big goals are made. That's where everything happens, I believe. And it's the way you should go and should think about things if you want to start an online business in 2025 and beyond, which is when I'm recording this right now. It's like January 21st, 2025. So I don't know when you're watching this, but that's when it is. Some of the challenges we faced when we first started on Amazon anyway was the fact that you don't have control over a lot of things, a lot of variables you don't have control over. So if you've ever sold stuff on Amazon before, as great as it is, there are some things that I don't really like about it. And one of the things is that you don't own the customer. Amazon still owns the customer, which is not great because you can't send follow-up emails. You can't talk to them after they've made their initial purchase and talk to them about future products that you may have or things like that. You can, but it's very hard to do. Whereas if you were building your own brand, not just on Amazon, so for instance, you had your own website and you were able to collect email addresses, you could then grow your email list, which is the most valuable asset ever. And if anyone, I think everyone should have an email list. No matter where you are right now, if you're watching this video, you should have an email list. And if you haven't started building one, do that right now. Start building an email list of people who are interested in what you do or what you are thinking of selling or what you're already selling. Because an email list is an asset that you own, and it's something that you can continually sell to, continually communicate with, and continually build a relationship with. Way more valuable, in my opinion, than an audience or subscribers on social media, and even people who buy your products on Amazon, because you don't own that as an asset. And Amazon, at any point, can just turn around to you, deactivate listings. They can decide that you shouldn't be selling your products, all this stuff, and it's out of your control. And then you have to speak with the support system at Amazon, which is pretty useless at best, if I'm honest with you. I mean, sometimes it can be really useful, but it's really hard sometimes, which is why that's one of my challenges for people who are looking to get started with a brand in 2025, is that don't just focus all your energy on just Amazon, because there's a whole other world over here that you're missing. And in some instances, it's probably way more valuable. You can still build a brand and sell on Amazon, is what I'm trying to say. So you can still have a presence on Google, on the internet, but also on Amazon. So people buy your products in both places, but don't just focus solely on Amazon. Another thing that is a drawback, but also a very good benefit, are Amazon's fees, right? So some people will argue these are expensive. Now, I don't personally think they're very expensive, because I would much rather Amazon handles all my fulfillment for me, and I can then leverage Amazon's trust that they've spent like 20 years building with their audience. Because if you go on Amazon or buy any products off the internet, I'm pretty sure you have a lot of trust in Amazon that your product is going to turn up on time, probably within a day or two. And if you don't like it, you can literally send it back, no questions asked whatsoever. Whereas if you buy it off someone's website that you don't know who they are, then you've no idea what the trust is with that. Whether if you buy it, can you send it back with ease? There's just all these it's a gray space. So I always, but when most of the time, use Amazon's fulfillment service. Yes, you pay a little bit more, but I think that the trust building and delivery time is way more valuable to the customer. And that's another thing I learned as well. Put the customer first with everything you do. Don't think about the money you're going to earn. Don't be selfish and think about yourself. You'll get all those things if you answer every single question that you're trying to do with your brand is, how do I put the customer first? And if that means spending a little bit more on fulfillment to make sure the customer gets their product faster, if that means maybe you do use Amazon's fulfillment service, it's a little bit more expensive, but the customer gets their product next day and they can return it if there's anything wrong with it, they don't like it. That is always putting the customer first. And Jeff Bezos did a great job building Amazon off that one key principle. And we should be thinking the same, but also we can leverage Amazon's trust right now just by using Amazon's service. Because if someone sees a product on Amazon, they're much more likely to buy it off there, I believe, than off somebody's website that isn't maybe as trustworthy. But you should have a website and Amazon as well. That's what we do. And we push a lot of our traffic off social media on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook to these two platforms. So it's really interesting. Just got some thing on here. some notes. It's a long game, right? You want to play this for the long game. Don't be in this to make a quick buck. If you're building a brand, it's something you're passionate about and you're really, really into and keen on doing, don't just set yourself a target of seeing how you can make this work in 30 or 60 days. Building a brand is a long-term thing. You're in this for years, if not your lifetime. So make sure you have that expectation at the beginning to start with. Otherwise, you're going to be upset and it's not going to deliver what you want. And then you're going to fall out of e-commerce and not want to do anything online again. So yeah, it's a long game. Don't expect overnight success. And those are like my bits and pieces of where I'm at as an online seller. I would actually just call myself now a brand builder, not just a seller. I love helping people build brands. That's what me and my business partner Peter spend our time doing now, helping other people who are interested in building brands like the ones that we have already done. And if you're interested in working with us on stuff like that and you want to build a brand in 2025 that is built on solid foundations, it's built for long-term growth and success, I'll leave a link in the description below to a page that walks through a short explainer video explaining everything of what we do and who we can help and who we can't. And other than that, let me know in the comments if you've got any questions on e-commerce, Amazon, anything in general, or anything you want me to make a video on really. And I'm going to upload it, and I will see you in the next video, guys.